Thank the Representative Friends for this statement. I now give the floor to the representative of United Kingdom.
Thank you, President. And I also thank Under-Secretary General Di Carlo for her briefing. I join others in welcoming His Excellency the State Secretary of Poland. On Tuesday, not only did we receive reports of yet another Russian attack on Ukraine, but also of an egregious violation of Polish and NATO airspace by Russian drones. This was not the first time Russian drones have violated Polish airspace, but this latest incident was unprecedented in scale. Around 20 drones entered Polish territory, prompting the closure of major airports. Several required interception for the first time by Polish and NATO air defence. Shelter-in-place warnings were issued to over 8 million Polish citizens. It is very fortunate that there were no casualties, unlike last time. We commend the swift and effective response by Polish and NATO forces against this gross violation of Poland's sovereign airspace. The United Kingdom stands in full solidarity with Poland and with Ukraine. We will continue to work with our NATO allies to defend every inch of Allied territory. Russia's aggression only strengthens the unity between NATO nations and our determination to stand with Ukraine. As my Prime Minister said, this was an extremely reckless move by Russia. It serves to remind us of President Putin's blatant disregard for peace, of the constant bombardment innocent Ukrainians face every day, and the threat that Russia's actions pose to European and international security. Russia continues to violate the basic principles of the UN Charter. Open source imagery of these incursions confirms the United Kingdom's own assessment. These were Russian drones. We categorically reject Russia's denials and attempts to diminish the seriousness of this incident. Since the start of Russia's so-called special military operation, we keep seeing what Russia describes as isolated incidents. Representatives of the Russian Federation have repeatedly, and as recently as yesterday, said in this Council that we should call a spade a spade. So let me do just that. This was no isolated incident. In 2022, we saw hundreds of civilians killed in Russia's attacks on Bucha and Irpin. Last year, I spoke in this Council about Russia's cowardly attack on a children's hospital in Kyiv. Since May of this year, we have witnessed the 20 largest air attacks of the entire war. We've witnessed 34,000 drones launched against Ukrainian civilians this year alone. We've seen 1,700 Ukrainians killed and over 8,300 injured. There's been a threefold increase in the number of child casualties in the last 3 months alone. Government buildings have been struck. There have been relentless attacks on critical national infrastructure. This is all part of a clear pattern of escalation. And these actions shake the foundations of international peace and security, and they show Putin for what he truly is. But we are not intimidated, and we are determined to increase the pressure on Putin. Today, on her visit to Kyiv, my Foreign Secretary announced 100 new sanctions targeting Russia's military sector and shadow fleet. and NATO has confirmed it will launch Operation Eastern Sentry to bolster our defences on the eastern flank. President, we call on Russia to end its brutal and illegal war and engage in meaningful negotiations. I thank you.
I thank the representative of the United Kingdom for the statement. I now give the floor to the representative of China.